Hello guys, well, this is your teacher Mario. We're going to work today with with inorganic chemistry. The idea of this is that we're going to work first part with the oxide. We're going to start naming the components, okay? Remember that the idea of this one is to first have clear what is an oxide and to identify the components that we have in each part. The first one that we're going to work is the oxide. The oxide is given by what? Well, the oxide is one thing that works with oxygen. Okay, the idea is that we're going to have the oxygen that is going to be bond. Okay, this one can be bond with a metal. But also we have another one that we're going to have a bond with a non-metal. Okay? The idea of this is that we're going to work, first part, we're going to start with the metal part, with the basic oxides. Okay? The oxide that we're going to start working is the metallic, or the basic one. Why metallic? Because we're going to have the first part that it's a metal, and the oxygen. Don't forget that the oxygen that we have is going to work with a -2. The oxidation number that we're going to have is -2. That's the first part and the most important, okay? Then, the metal that we're going to have can have two situations. Can have maybe one oxidation number or two oxidation numbers. If I have the first situation that they have only one oxidation number, example, lithium, is going to be given the name as óxido de litio. Well, this part we're going to start first naming the components in Spanish, okay? When we, in the moment that we are in the subject, we're going to work the components also in English, okay? Then we have sodium. The idea of this is that they all work with this one with -2 and this one with +1. They are not balanced. They need something to be balanced. So, to be in the same situation, the lithium, I have two particles of lithium and two particles of sodium. In this case, I can give the name óxido de sodio. That happens when I have what? When I have one oxidation number, is going to be óxido and the metal. What happens when I have two oxidation numbers? Well, I'm going to work with two possible situations. Okay, óxido and some endings, or óxido and a Roman number. Both options are correct. First part, in this case, let's start thinking that we're going to work the hierro with 2. So the oxygen is going to work always with -2. So when I work with -2 and the hierro with +2, what happens? They are perfectly balanced. So I call it óxido de hierro. What number? 2. Because this number is going to be the Roman according to the oxidation number, okay? So if I have the oxidation number of the hierro 2, it's going to be the Roman number 2. Also, in this case, I'm going to be working the hierro with a 3, because the oxidation number of the hierro, we have two options, okay? So we're going to work with 3. We're going to balance it. In this case, they are perfectly balanced, because 3 by 2, we're going to have 6. 3 by 2, we're going to have 6, and the -6. So 6 minus 6, 0. So in that case, they are perfectly balanced. So I give the name óxido de hierro. What oxidation number I have? 3. So óxido de hierro 3. Then I can work the other option, that is the naming of the components when I have the also eco. Do you remember also eco? Well, this part is when I have the lower oxidation number, I'm going to use also. And when I have the higher, I'm going to use eco. So what happens in this case? Well, we're going to, first of all, we're going to name the first component as oxido. Don't forget the word oxido. Oxido. But what do we have? It's the lower. Oxido ferroso or oxido ferrico. That depends on what? On the number that they have. Well, to check this part as a starter, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to have an exercise. Okay? We're going to have one exercise. What's the idea of this? Well, this exercise by yourself, you're going to, first of all, you're going to write the formula. And then the name. The formula that we have, all of them are oxides. So, what do we have to do? First, identify what number they are working with. In this case, the sodium is working with +1. So the formula, the correct formula, is going to be this way. Okay, 2 particles of sodium and 1 particle of oxygen. Two atoms of each one. In this case, the name is going to be óxido de sodio. What oxidation number? +1, so there's no need. Also, when I have, for example, other components, I have to write what? The correct formula according to the oxidation number. If they are telling me that's the situation in here, that is telling us that it's working with a +3. So if they tell me that they work with a +3, I have to balance the equation. I have a -2. Is that balance? No. The correct answer is that it's not balanced. So what do I have to do? Okay, first I have to balance it. And in that case, it's now perfectly balanced. This component can be named by 2 forms. That's the thing that I want you to do. You're going to name the components. In the case you can, you're going to name it in both ways. If not, only one way. Remember, one is going to be the stock. The stock is the one when you use Roman numbers, and the other is the traditional when you're going to use eco oso. Okay? That's the first exercise.